Right now, I'm about to show you one of the rarest pieces of Bluey merchandise out there. This is the Bluey Xbox Series X console. How many of these exist in the world, I couldn't tell you, but they are very, very few and far between. And I happen to have one of them today in hand. And today I'm going to tell you how you have the chance to get one for yourself too. Yes, for real life. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd News Today. I'm Matthew, and today I'm going to be showing you one of the hottest pieces of Bluey merchandise that has ever existed. This is going to be something that everybody's going to want, but really only one person out there is going to have a chance to get it. This is the Bluey Xbox Series X console. And this is not going to be sold in stores and not going to be sold online. This is actually not going to be sold anywhere. There's only one way to get this, and that's by entering a contest through Xbox. And I'm going to tell you all about that a little bit later on in this video here, but the purpose of this is really just to show you guys what is at stake here. And really, the stakes are higher than a game of Pass the Parcel with Lucky's Dad's Rules. Now this video is going to be a little confusing for a lot of folks here, namely my regular viewers, and what I'm hoping will be a whole lot of new ones coming to check out this channel thanks to this Bluey merchandise right here. For those of you who have been on Nerd News Today for a long time, Bluey might mean nothing to you, and it definitely won't mean much to you in context of my channel. And on the opposite end of things, there's probably a lot of new viewers coming to this channel for the very first time here, wondering how this bespectacled beardo wearing an anime jacket managed to get his hands on this extremely rare Xbox. Well, sit tight here because it's story time. So aside from doing the YouTube video content thing, and also doing my Star Trek podcast, Trek Untold, I also write for a few places. And one of those locations is a website called fatherly.com. And what fatherly.com is essentially a lifestyle website that's intended for a male audience. We cover things like news, entertainment, culture, parenting, and in my case, entertainment. I've been writing for Fatherly now for about a year, since January in fact, and my main focus of coverage has been nerdy things like I do here on this channel, and pretty much everything out there Bluey. How I got into Bluey is truly a story for a different day, but all that matters is I love the healers, I love the show, and somehow along the way, I became really knowledgeable in all things Bluey. And that led me to be the exclusive writer for anything Bluey on fatherly.com. So if you've been on that site for the past 12 months and have seen anything about Bluey, chances are it was me who wrote about it. And it's through that I was able to get my hands on this Xbox, because this Xbox was sent to me courtesy of the fine folks over at Xbox. And the purpose of this was for me to do a write-up over on fatherly.com about this thing here, but I'm also going to do a little video now to show you guys everything from all different angles like I normally do with all the other toys and statues that I review here. Now, I don't know how many of these Bluey Xboxes are currently out there in the wild, because I think a few other journalists are getting their hands on them to do a similar thing like I'm doing right now. But as far as the general public goes, only one lucky winner will get this Xbox. And just because I know there's going to be a lot of new folks on this channel who are going to look at this thing and be saying to themselves, there's no way that's real, that's totally fake, who is this guy, why should he get this thing here? Well, that's partly why I'm showing you this unboxing footage right now, to show you that this in fact was a sealed Xbox that I'm pulling out right now. And this is very much so the Bluey Xbox that is up for grabs. And I was a little bit shocked that I got this thing too, to be completely honest, because, you know, my YouTube channel is not quite big enough to be hitting those kinds of accolades, but the readership over at Fatherly is infinitely larger than what I've got here in this channel, and I'm very grateful for the existence of Bluey to allow me opportunities like this. And I gotta tell you guys, I used to own an Xbox back during the 360 days, but I haven't had one since then, and I barely touched it. So I'm pretty excited to finally have an Xbox once more in my collection and get into some real hardcore gaming with it. Now, as I mentioned, this is the Xbox Series X. This is the more powerful console of the two right now that are out there as far as the Xbox S and the Xbox X series. But again, this is what the contest is for, the Xbox Series X. And this is that big old rectangle. And once I actually unwrapped this thing, I really had to do a second take and kind of just pause for a minute, because I really couldn't believe this was in my hands. But there it was. There was the Bluey Xbox staring right back at me in all of its glory. And I'm still getting goosebumps just thinking about that first moment and even looking at it right now. The design of this thing is just really adorable. It's Bluey herself on 3 of the 4 sides of this thing. On the front side, we've got Bluey's face, which is also where the optical disc drive is, as well as the port where you're going to plug in your controller. And on the left and right side, we have Bluey's arms, which is actually really kind of cute. And it makes a lot of sense that Bluey would really translate very well to something like an Xbox, considering how kind of blocky these characters already are. Like, this really does feel like a perfect marriage to me. And in addition to an arm on each side, we also have Bluey, the video game logo, where her darker fur markings are. The back of the Xbox is basically going to be the same as you get with any Xbox. There's not really anything special there, but that's just where all of your ports and your plugs are going to be to actually connect this to your TV. And that's fine, because you're not going to really ever be looking at this thing from behind. You're going to want to have this thing front and center, staring right back at you when you're gaming. I can just imagine playing Elden Ring and getting slaughtered by some really horrible boss and being really, really disappointed in myself, but then just looking at Bluey's face and feeling a whole lot better and ready to try again. It's really impossible not to feel great looking at that. But I should add, so far I've only really been talking about the console, and I've been neglecting one other feature about this contest and something else that I received, and that would be this custom Bluey controller. So if you win this contest from Xbox, in addition to the Bluey custom console, you're also going to get the custom controller, and this thing is just as cute. And I haven't held an Xbox controller in forever, so it really feels kind of nice to have this in my hands once again. So what makes this controller different and special? Well, it's the design essentially, and this one here comes in that same color of Bluey. It's that same signature sky blue that Bluey has on her fur for most of the body of the console, front and back, and the bumpers have, again, that darker color that you would see on Bluey's markings. So you have the sky blue for the body and darker blue for those bumpers or triggers or whatever you want to call them. And likewise, so is the joystick and the D-pad. Those all have that darker color to them. Otherwise, all the action buttons have their same colors as they will with any controller. But again, what's different here is that there's Bluey characters on either side of the handles. On the left side, you've got Bluey doing the floss, and on the right side, you got Bingo doing the floss. And that is just beyond adorable to see them, and to have that on the controller here, it really feels like party time when I look at these guys now. It's also a bit of a shame that my hand has to cover it every time I play it, but it's fun knowing that they're there. I mean, this just looks so good. And by the way, the reason that this contest exists in the first place is because Bluey the video game just came out a few weeks ago. This is Bluey's very first home console game, and it's pretty cool. I actually took a look at it on Fatherly. I wrote a whole review about it, played it, beat the game. So if you want to learn more about the game from my perspective, as well as the perspective of how it is for younger children, go ahead and take a look at that. There's going to be some links to it in the description of this video below. And speaking of, once I got this Bluey console in my hands, I had to set it up and actually try playing the Bluey game for myself on this thing, because I can't just have this and stare at it all day. I gotta actually play it. And this was also my first time setting up this Xbox, so that was an experience, as it tends to always be, but I got this thing moving pretty quickly, and I got the game installed just like that, and it's so much fun playing it on the Xbox. And it's wild to me that I'm playing a Bluey game on the Bluey Xbox custom console with a Bluey custom controller. It can't get any more surreal than that experience. I mean, check this out. My very first Xbox achievement is going to be from the Bluey game, and there it is. I can't believe that it's not going to be something like Halo or something like Elden Ring or Devil May Cry or whatever. It's going to be Bluey. And again, I'm not going to get into any review of the game itself right now. If you want to learn more about that, go ahead and check out my write-up on fatherly.com. But I will just point out here that graphically, it is really cool playing this game now in 4K. I had it previously on the Switch. I don't believe that it was in 4K. Here it is in proper 4K in all of its glory. But graphically speaking, it doesn't feel like it's that much more superior. So really, it doesn't matter what system you get it on, as long as you just get it. No matter how you play it, you're going to have fun. Alright, so that's the console and everything like that, but let's get into the important part of this video right now. How do you get this for yourself? And unfortunately, not everybody who watches this video is going to be able to get this. In fact, for the most part, hopefully it will be one of you, and I really hope it is because you came to this channel to check this out, but truly the odds are not going to be in anybody's favor. But luckily, the way to enter the contest is extremely easy, not going to be difficult at all, so at the very least, it's not going to take you more than a few seconds. And all it takes from you is having a Twitter account. So to enter this contest, all you have to do is log into Twitter, go to the official Xbox Twitter page. From there, you got to look for the contest post, which is going to be a few things down below, but don't worry, I've got a link for that also in the description of this video below. But once you do find the post about this Bluey sweepstakes, you're going to want to retweet that post. And very important thing to do also, if you have a private Twitter account, make sure that that post is set to public, otherwise it doesn't count. And that's literally all that you have to do to enter this sweepstakes. Just go onto Twitter, retweet that one post, and just like that, you're done. You're entered in the contest. Now, the sweepstakes already began on November 17th, but don't worry, you still have plenty more time to enter. The contest officially ends on December 13th at 8 p.m. Pacific time. So you essentially have just about 2 weeks right now to go ahead and get that single tweet in. And by the way, it is only a single retweet. You can only retweet that once, and also only from one account per person. So in other words, if you have a duplicate account for yourself or a spare account, you should not be entering twice. There are a few more rules and regulations, but really that is the bulk of them. But if you do want to read any of the fine print or things like that, as well as how you'll find out whether or not you won, I'm going to have a link to the official Xbox sweepstakes rules down in the description of this video below. Likewise, I'm also going to have an affiliate link for Bluey the video game from all different consoles, so if you want to click on that link and buy the game for yourself or anything else from Amazon, please go ahead and do that. Now, one last thing, as far as maybe some more Bluey content on this YouTube channel, I would love to do that. So if you're watching right now and want to see me cover more things Bluey here in this channel, go ahead and let me know in the comments. But likewise, I'm already doing a ton of that over on fatherly.com. I'm also going to have a link to the Fatherly Guide to Bluey, which is the big hub of all Bluey articles. You're going to find all of my writing there, as well as a few other people's in there. So if you want to see all the articles I've written about Bluey in the last year and everything else on Fatherly related to Bluey, go ahead and check that link out. And hey, before you leave, if you're a Bluey fan, let me know what your favorite episode is. I love talking to Bluey, and I'd be happy to start talking to you folks about that stuff too. So that is our look at the Xbox Sweepstakes custom Bluey Xbox Series X console and custom controller. These things are beyond cool, and again, I'm so grateful that Xbox was kind enough to send me one of these to show off to all of you. And I hope you enter, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Just like the Highlander, there can be only one, but it's not going to be that difficult to try and win it. So why not just go for it? It's easier than a granny slipping on her beans. So until next time, I'm Matthew. This has been Nerd News Today. Thanks for watching this video showcasing the custom Xbox Series X Bluey console. And until next time, may your duck cake stay in one piece.